200 years after the world, lost its mind and everything went kabooey. There's very little talk of God or traditional religion in Fallout 4. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism. It sure seems as if God has abandoned the post-apocalyptic world, as well as the minds and souls of the unlucky few human beings still around. And in a world filled with behemoth monsters, with scary red skulls next to their health bars like the one below, you would think, that the never-ending human quest for meaning, for spiritual connection, would rise to the top of civilization. But no. There's no talk of hope, or Jesus, or salvation, or love, or heaven in the game to speak of. Although it is clear that any trace of traditional, established religion in Fallout is dead, you can still find pockets of religious cults throughout the Commonwealth, where the concept of God has devolved into wacko ideologies that are eerily similar to the kinds of wacko pseudo-religious cults that exist today. The first batch of these demented cultists can be found over by the Charles View Amphitheatre, where we find them hanging around in their fashionable, super cool 1950s suits and fedoras, which even their super hot women cult babes wear. Man, I don't know about you, but I've fallen completely in love with this crazy hot cutie cultist bird. Anyway, I controlled my lust long enough to listen to their spiel and see what the pillars of the community are all about. And within seconds of stepping onto their compound headquarters, I get wind of what these well-dressed, attractive cultists are all about, from their dapper but oily, charismatic leader, Brother James.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
Why do you ask?
Because if you are that kind of person, you've come to the right place, neighbor. We call ourselves the Pillars of the Community. We're a pretty new movement, so you may not have heard of us. But we're growing fast all across the Commonwealth, and you can be part of this exciting future. Step right this way, and I'll be happy to tell you all about our movement and how you can be a part of it.
What's your movement all about?
I'm glad you asked. Our mission is nothing less than to transform the entire Commonwealth one life at a time. Maybe you've seen pictures or heard stories about what life was like back before the Great War. Maybe you've wondered, why can't life be like that again? Well, neighbor, I'm here to tell you that it can be. What do you say? Ready to take that first step into a new life?
You owe it to yourself to give it a chance.
I have some more questions first.
Of course you do, and I'm here to answer them. Shoot.
What's your movement all about?
Our mission is nothing less than to transform the entire Commonwealth one life at a time. Maybe you've seen pictures or heard stories about what life was like back before the Great War. Maybe you've wondered, why can't life be like that again? Well, neighbor, I'm here to tell you that it can be. Anything else you're wondering about before we get started?
What do I have to do to join your movement?
That's the beauty of it, neighbor. You don't have to do anything, except have a willing spirit and open your heart to the possibilities. Anything else you're wondering about before we get started?
I don't have any more questions.
Good.
You owe it to yourself
Then
to
I
give
hope
it a
you're
chance.
ready to take your first step into your new life as one of the pillars of the community.
Yes, I am.
All right then. Fantastic. You won't regret it, I promise you. We haven't had a single pillar leave the movement since we started. Don't be shy. Just follow me.
We're always looking for new members.
All righty. I hope you're as excited as I am. This is one of my favorite parts of the job, getting to welcome new members into our movement. The first step is simple. You have to learn to give up your attachment to material possessions in order to gain the ability to have true wealth, health, and happiness. Just go ahead and give me everything you own, and I'll initiate you as a first-level pillar of the community.
What do I get in return for giving you everything I own?
You're still stuck in old thinking. You're still clinging to your old life. But that's what you came here to give up. And the first step is to shed yourself of your material possessions.
You've got to be kidding. You want me to give you everything I have?
The first step is the hardest, neighbor. But it's the only way to cast off your old life and start on the road towards your future health, wealth, and happiness. Don't you think that's worth a small temporary sacrifice?
Now, these cultists are your typical run-of-the-mill religious shysters that promise grand, vague rewards or whatever that will always require you to give them all your money, your mind, and obedience, etc. You know, the Jim Jones and his People's Temple of dead cultists. So it's really not surprising to find Brother James, or Brother Matthew, or whatever he calls himself, running with this brand of quackery. And of course, there's the obligatory shakedown for everything you own in the name of blah 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 whatever. Human nature never changes, does it, lads?
I'll have to think about it a bit more before I decide.
No, sorry. I'm afraid we're past that point. You really do need to give me everything. Now.
I'm walking out of here. Your choice what you want to do about it.
You're not worth the trouble. Plenty of easier marks. Get out of here before I change my mind.
Fortunately, I had a high enough charisma level to speech check this psychopath down and walk out of this joint without having to kill them all. I'll come back and slaughter them later, but this one, dear Lord in heaven, she's a keeper. But an even loonier cult can be found in the Nuka World DLC, and these are the totally fringed, way, way out there Hubologists, which, if you haven't already guessed, are the game's thinly veiled version of Scientologists. You know, the religion of today's Hollywood elite, like Tom Cruise. We meet them at their diner headquarters and can tell rather quickly from their tin-foiled clothing that they reside on a different plane of existence.
We're Hubologists. I'm Tula. I'm only an AHS 1 right now, but I have an alignment scheduled soon. Nobody tells me anything. They always say I'm not a high enough AHS.
Top Scientologists claim to be clear, and top Hubologists aim to be cleansed. I mean, the game writers are not even trying to hide the similarities between the two wacky belief systems and practices.
Our last talk didn't end so well. Are you happy? Truly happy?
Why do you call yourself cleansed?
I have been cleansed of neurodynes. I no longer need my birth name. I renamed myself Cleansed. But you haven't answered my question. Are you truly happy?
What the heck are neurotynes?
They're kind of like ghosts that get into your brain. They can cloud your thinking and hold you back from your full potential. So, are you truly happy?
Of course not. Irradiated monsters are constantly trying to kill me.
I may be able to help you. I can show you the path to true happiness. The path to enlightenment through Hubology. It can relieve you of your burdens, help you find the true happiness you so desperately want. It can also unlock the true potential of your mind, giving you great mental powers.
What is Hubology?
Hubology is the science of unlocking the full potential of the human mind. It brings true happiness and peace to those that walk its long path. Dara is much better at explaining this. She's an AHS 9. Come with me and she can answer all your questions.
So I follow the crackpot in the tinfoil outfit to their fearless leader to hear more mumbo-jumbo about their belief system. We get more information about their radical religious beliefs and their founder, the amazing Dick Hubble.
I see you brought me a new recruit. Thank you, Cleansed. If you've come seeking answers to life's great questions, Hubology has them. While I sincerely hope you'll join us, even if you don't, I'm in need of a person of action.
Hubology? What is that?
Before the Great War, a brilliant writer named Dick Hubble invented a process for expanding the human mind. Through the process of alignment, he was able to give his followers great mental powers. I am his direct descendant and keeper of all his secrets, collectively known as Hubology. If you are really interested in joining us, go speak to Phil about having an alignment. We can help you find inner peace and happiness. We can help you master the amazing powers of the mind.
The Hubologists are not only proxies for Scientologists, they also double as proxies for the Heaven's Gate cult some decades ago, who went out in style to meet the mothership they thought was hiding behind a comet. They too all went beyond the stars. Yeah, that really happened. Again, weird charismatic leader with stupid idea somehow finds people stupid enough to buy their mumbo-jumbo, and bingo, you are now a cult leader. They are of course delusional, and, you being you indulge them in their crazy ideas without buying any of their obvious bullshit, unlike their more gullible members. So we run off to get tested, and, as expected, they want me to pay for this cleansing crap. And the test is of course nonsense, technobabble. But you know, this is exactly how Scientologists conduct their business in the real world. The more tests you take to climb the ranks, the more it's going to cost you. Folks, here's a little tip. If any church makes you pay for salvation or enlightenment or clarity or purity or whatever too good to be true thingy they're dangling in front of you, well, hello, that's a sure sign you're joining a cult.
Hi.
Are you ready to throw off the shackles of your neurodynes? Hubology takes commitment. A small donation of 50 caps shows your commitment to self-improvement. You will take some rads during the procedure, so make sure you're healthy before starting.
But what are neurodynes?
Neurodynes build up in your brain, clouding your ability to think. After an alignment, you will think more clearly and be happier.
Alignment? My back feels fine. Or is this not a chiropractic thing?
You're strapped into a chair, and your central nervous system is pumped full of zeta radiation. This destroys some of the neurodynes. However, over time, they will build up again without further treatment.
Isn't the first one supposed to be free?
I suppose I can do that. Have a seat in the Zeta Aligner.
Real Scientologists use a gizmo they call Hubbard electrometers to run their tests. These types of reading machines are pure bunk, but they give the impression of being scientific-y, so they are effective as a tool of deception. I rather fancy this cool chair machine, actually. Way more comfortable. All right, here goes. Let's give this thing a go, shall we?
Okay. Locking on to the neurodynes. Oh, there are so many of them. What have you been doing? Good. Good. The Zeta rays are withering them. Well, some of them at least. And we're done. For now. You'll need many more treatments. Congratulations. You are now an AHS-1. Our newest member. Welcome, AHS-1. Are you ready to do battle with your neurodynes? We ask for a modest commitment of 100 caps for this alignment. You'll take a bit more rads than last time, so make sure you're healthy before taking this alignment.
No, not yet. I'll come back later.
You've just begun your journey toward enlightenment and true happiness. Don't give up on it now. Come back soon.
You're a bunch of religious kooks.
How sad that you aren't open to learning the obvious truths of Hubology. But I don't need you to be a believer. I need you to get me 5 spacesuits from the Vault Tech display in the Galactic Zone. I'll pay you 200 caps if you do.
I think you can afford more than that.
You aren't the only merc in the Commonwealth. 200 caps. Take it or leave it. Don't take too long with those spacesuits.
Of course, these space-traveling religious nuts are perhaps not as crazy as all that, since we do encounter real space aliens in the game.
Beginning lethal force neutralization operation.
As well as aliens abducting two-headed Brahmin. But there's an even crazier cult in Fallout that takes stupid, wrong, ignorant ideas to a whole new level of crazy. And that crown falls on the children of Atom. Man, what can we say about this group of fanatics? Just look at where they live. In the radiant, radioactive wasteland ranges of a completely destroyed world. Teeming with radioactive scorpions, death claws, and these random packs of feral ghoul stalkers. Life doesn't get much worse than this. The children of Atom have evolved their own brand of quasi-religious scientific gobbledygook that's deadly and rather stupid. You see, they've come to embrace the atom as God, and they view the radioactive fallout that has poisoned the Earth as a holy, sacred thing. Religion is based on faith, not facts, not science, not even logic and common sense. No story, no doctrine, no belief system is too crazy or too outrageous to place one's faith in. So embracing the atom as God is just as good as embracing an ostrich as God.
Word of Atom's glory must be spread to all.
Excuse me.
The world will see Atom's glory again.
But to embrace plutonium or cesium
Hey there.
or uranium
divide
as a
bring
good
you
thing
peace.
is rather odd, to say the least.
May the glow of Atom guide your path. The great divide comes. Word of Atom's glory must be spread to all. In the end, we are all Atom's children.
Excuse me.
The world will see Atom's glory again. May the divide bring you peace.
I suppose, given enough time, human beings can evolve to tolerate high levels of radiation without, dying. But here they are, the children of Atom. We can barely make them out through the green haze of death, but they're just as crazed as any religious fanatic in their twisted, stupid beliefs.
Now, remarkably, there are two factions of the Children of Atom. The one in the glowing sea, and another in Far Harbor, which I've already joined. The faction in the glowing sea is a bit more primitive and poorer, and their home is a complete dump compared to the Far Harbor faction, which live inside a nuclear submarine bunker.
What makes this place holy?
Atom reached out and touched this world, bringing his glow to us. It remains to this day a reminder of his promise. Infinite worlds through division.
Would you be willing to help a fellow child of Atom? I'm part of a church in a place called the Nucleus, near the town of Far Harbor. You know it?
Far Harbor? Few know of the land shrouded beneath Atom's veil, let alone claim to have worshipped within its sacred fog. An interesting assertion, if it's true. Have you come to worship among us? Know that Atom's wrath has no tolerance for falsehoods.
I'm here to worship Atom, just like you.
If that is true, then you may stay. But know that if your heart is false, Atom will see, and you will suffer his wrath.
I need to speak with you.
Ah, our sister from Far Harbor. What can I do for you, child?
How have you survived out here?
Our faith in Atom is unwavering. In return, he has granted us his blessing and protects us from those who would do us harm. None without his favor could survive in such a place, but survive we do.
How did you find this place?
We'd seen the glow, beckoning us in the distance. Where others ply the glowing sea with fear, we strode into this land, knowing that Atom would guide us through unharmed. In return for our faith, we were granted this haven, abandoned, pristine, a blessing from Atom. We built here to show our thanks for his grace.
They're thankful for living on a radioactive waste dump.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.
You are kind to offer, but Atom has provided us with all that we need.
What a horrible, horrible dump to live in. But I am greatly comforted by the fact that even after the apocalypse, shopping, buying, and selling, good old capitalism is alive and well. This radioactive ghoul sells some pretty sweet Nuka World merch, and I just had to have this dope-ass Chosen Seas scavenger suit. I simply cannot resist. 2 endurance, mate. I must have it. And a bargain at 871 caps. Crazy Atom Guy has sweet taste in armor. The glowing sea bunch of atom heads are pathetic compared to their cousins over at Far Harbor. They have way better armor, and the living conditions there are way swankier. When we first arrive at the Nucleus headquarters, we hear their grand poobah slathering on the bullshit to his zombified followers.
But I have to say, this High Confessor Tectus fella has an amazingly evil, hypnotic voice.
Slay those who only wish to bring them the light no longer. After years of skulking in the shadows like whipped dogs, our purpose is clear. And I know the key to our victory lies within the nucleus itself. We will claim the secrets hidden away by that accursed robot, and with them, we will wipe Far Harbor from the island. Adam's veil will roll down its streets, holy fog cleansing the land of their heresy. And when we are finally granted division, it will be as heroes. A new day dawns, brothers and sisters. Glory to Atom! Glory to Atom! Welcome, sister. How does it feel to take your place among Adam's chosen?
I feel stupid, but play along.
It's an honor, High Confessor.
I'm glad you feel as such. There are many who would squander Adam's grace. Let me ask you a question. You've been to Far Harbor, yes? Seen its barriers against Adam's holy fog? Its citizens' blasphemous refusal to vacate what is clearly his domain? What would you do with such a place?
I would nuke them, but I play it nice.
I'd reach out to them. Try to make peace.
Do you not believe we have tried?
Sounds like peace would be better for everyone. This island is dangerous enough as it is.
For years, my predecessor begged for peace, while Far Harbor fortified their bastion of heresy. We tried to help them, to bring them Adam's light. Many of our brethren ended up dying for it. But now that I am High Confessor, that time is over. All Adam's foes, whether Far Harbor cowering behind their precious condensers, or that ancient robot hiding away his memories within our very home, they will come to recognize Adam as the sole master of this island. But it is only through unity that we can succeed. Adam requires devotion from all his children. Embrace that, and you will do well here.
And like all religions, there's always the danger of heresy, wrong thinking, wrong interpretation of Holy Writ or tradition. And the go-to solution to all heresies is to, kill all heretics that threaten the orthodoxy of the day. The children of Atom are no different, and the High Professor is constantly on the lookout for any signs of heresy in his flock.
There is a member of our little community I've suspected for some time now. My own inquiries have proven fruitless. But your relative newness will likely make it easier for you to sniff out the truth. I would have you investigate this person. Should you find proof of any heresy or disloyalty, you're to bring it to me.
And I'm always up for rounding up and eliminating heretics.
Consider it done.
Superb. Bring whatever you find directly to me.
And no religion, no organized church can survive without devoted true believers who internalize and embody the religion's catechism of rituals, slogans, and actions. Just listen to this heavily armed and pretty damned cute cult lady in armor spew atomic nonsense like a robot.
Have you seen Adam's veil in the moonlight? Division will find us all in time.
Grand Zealot sends shivers down my spine.
The High Confessor's word is the word of Adam. Adam has laid a path for us all. You need only look for the signs.
Many would do harm to Adam's faithful.
Place your faith in Adam and never will you err. The triumph of Adam is inevitable. His fog cannot be halted, only delayed.
I mean, pretty much any believer in any religion talks like this. But there's no doubt that heresy is a threat that must be eradicated. I'm sent out on another mission to track down and eliminate a known heretic. One Sister Gwyneth. And she is dangerous because she's rejected Atom and has embraced nothingness.
I know it could mean my life, but the children must know. I was paging through a pre-war tome when I saw it. The atom. A tiny speck of matter surrounded by endless depths. A vast emptiness that dwells within us all. It only reaffirmed what I'd felt all this time. The truth the confessor wanted no one to hear. The lie that is Atom. It's not real. We aren't all infinite worlds. Just empty space. Dead. Cold. That we are nothing. Confessor won't be pleased by my messages. But I'm not afraid. I'm going to start moving things to the old church by the West Access Road in case they decide to join me. I just hope I'm not too late to save them from Atom's lies.
Yeah, she's become a hardcore nihilist. And nothing is more dangerous to religion than nihilism. Embracing the void of nothingness. So I track down the heretic nihilist, hiding out in a church of all places. I hear her out before taking care of business.
Gwyneth.
Stop! This is a sacred place! Why have you come here? Are you seeking the truth of nothing?
The truth of nothing? What does that mean?
If you are truly prepared to hear it, then I will tell you. The children of Atom have been deceived by Martin, by Tectus. It's a false gospel, all of it. What they don't want you to know is that Atom is but a tiny mote in the vastness of nothing. Nothing is the true nature of existence. I have seen it with my own eyes. A void so vast and empty, like a night sky without stars. I know it is difficult to accept, but you must, and so must the others. They deserve to know the truth.
Maybe, just maybe, she's right. There's just nothing. Vanity of vanity, saith the preacher, right? But
what if you misunderstood what you saw and overreacted? Do you really believe that everyone is wrong about Atom except you?
I can't think about that now. I've strayed so far from the path. I don't dare look back.
what a stupid, stupid woman. She's not even hot. And the only thing worse than a heretic is an ugly heretic.
If you won't repent, you leave me no choice. Prepare to die!
And so I had no choice but to wipe this crazy lady and her evil doctrine out of existence. I debated on the shot. You know, torso, head. The dog didn't seem to have a preference. So I blew her brains out. That evil brain that contained those evil, heretical thoughts. The work of Atom must go on. I leveled up and returned to Grand Zealot Richter for my much-anticipated reward for doing Atom's bidding. Sweet! A shiny radioactive sledgehammer. One could bash a lot of heretical brains out with this baby. Oh yeah! And so what little traces remain of religion in the Commonwealth in the year 2277 has been utterly corrupted, polluted, or lost over time. And no ideology other than pure survival offer any real hope of anything. The new world is devoid of any real, meaningful understanding of the universe and everything in it. It seems we are offered few real alternatives in Fallout 4. We either abandon our individuality and give ourselves over to phony cults that just want to control our minds and our wallets like the nuts of the pillars of the community, or jump into our spacesuits and shoot for the stars with the lunatic Hubologists, or embrace radioactivity as radiant gifts from Mother Atom and await division and the release of multiple universes. I don't know. It's all pretty bleak. It's all
too human. The human condition is hardwired to believe in something, anything at all really. And I believe if the world were to plunge into some dark, frightful nuclear wasteland, religion, religious ideologies and beliefs would reform in some recognizable form that we could call religious faith.
But if I absolutely had to take a stand and live amongst just one of these loony cultists, I'd have to go with the Pillars. They can have all my money and worldly possessions as long as I get to stare into these gorgeous eyes for the rest of my miserable life. Yeah, I'm shallow like that. Thanks for watching. Which of these crazy cults would you join? Let me know in the comments, give a like, and tune in next time for more Fallout content.
Our mission is nothing less than to transform the entire Commonwealth one life at a time.